Hey, welcome back again to Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, I'm the car hauling dispatcher, and you are tuning in to 8 o'clock Central Time on Auto Transport Intel, and I welcome you back to the show. Wow, pretty good views already. That's pretty cool, man. The show just started. Right before I went live, I was checking out Trucking with Selena. Got a shout out on her show, and I check in with Truck Driving Diva at times, and New Age Trucker. He and I are now buddies, and of course Hotshot Dave. So, you know, the community is pretty awesome. Hey, what's up, Hotshot Dave? That's the first shout out. All right, man. Welcome back to the show. Like that POV thing you had going on. That was cool. What's up, Clarksville Trucking Dave? Hey, what's up, Arthur? Welcome to the show. All right, and Patrick, hey, you're on time. That's crazy. I always said I'd get worried if you were on time, so how appropriate that is. So this is the Freedom of Speech show. I made a couple changes to the set here. Guys, the freedom of speech is an important right. It's so important, it's the First Amendment. And it is afforded all Americans, every American. If you are in the United States, you have the freedom of speech by very nature of being a citizen of the country. So I have the freedom of speech, which means I can say, unless I say something crazy or do something crazy, I can say what I want. I have that right. I'm not going to slander anybody. I'm not going to be libelous. I'm also conscious of other parameters where maybe I infringe upon my freedom of speech, but I've not done that. So you are exercising your freedom of speech when you speak out against ELD, and you have the right to do that. Currently, in our social climate with the things that have happened in Hollywood, there's a lot of freedom of speech happening. People are voicing when they're not happy about something. And I can do the same thing. The level of free speech that I might engage in tonight, I'm going to keep at a reasonable minimum, but I will tell you that it's come to my attention that maybe that's why I'm bringing up freedom of speech, that maybe there are some folks watching the show that don't love the show, and that's too bad. But I have the right to freedom of speech. I'm going to exercise it, and I will tell you guys that it's good for us to know that there may be some that don't like what I'm saying. And that's okay. People can disagree. Hopefully they can find common ground and coexist and do business like Apple and IBM did at the time. I mean, they didn't work together, but there's plenty of market to go around, so let's not bicker about the finer points. So there's my freedom of speech. And if at any time you forget what I said, you can just look at hashtag freedom of speech. So, Viper Transport, welcome back to the show. Big duty, all right, man. Hey, Carshipping, welcome. And let's see, we got Gerald Sherwood. And cool, man. And you guys are already talking a little bit. Yeah, I like the flag too. You know what? Personally, I like the American flag. Just the other day, I heard the national anthem at the Monster Jam truck show, and I like the national anthem, but I also respect the right not to like it. You know what? That's freedom of speech. First Amendment. Sorry, I don't want to start a political battle. It's just that politics hit me hard last week, and, you know, I don't like to get caught up in politics. I believe in one's right to be the entrepreneur they're meant to be, right? And that's what I'm doing on this show. So, that's right. Your show is cool. If they don't like it, don't watch. Thank you. I totally agree. And, Jay, you're about to pull out Leroy Jenkins. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, dude, I love Monster Jam. I mean, it's awesome. And you don't like the flag? Yeah, I don't like the flag. I love that sumbitch. Oh, that's funny. And the national anthem rocks. Yeah, okay. So, all right, cool, man. This is awesome. I think we're on the same page. We're going to go back into the show. I've actually got an incredible interview tonight. This is an original. I don't think it's has ever been done. The person we're going to talk to tonight and who they represent, I don't think this has ever been done. And this show, man, we're moving towards the future. We're not stuck in the past. We're not in a little box. It's wide open, all right? This show is for the entire car shipping ecosystem. I mean, drivers, dispatchers, brokers, dealers, customers, equipment manufacturers, insurance agents, you name it. If you are involved in any way in car shipping, you're welcome on this show, and it's going to stay that way. All right? Okay. All right. I seen you get hesitant. Yeah, well, you know, listen, sometimes when we get pressure from somewhere, you know, it's like, wow, really? I'm feeling, you know, a little anxious, but I'm excited too. I don't know. It's all kinds of emotions, but this is still a show, and, it's still for you guys. So let's do some Facebook news before we do our interview. We're going to call here in about 10 minutes. I thought this was a great beginning graphic. That's right. Freedom of speech. Now, he says it a little different than I might, but what's he say here? He says, could have bought a new Bentley. Instead, I started a business. Man, who doesn't know how that feels? That's pretty awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. I found that on Facebook. Everything I'm about to show you, I found on Facebook. I'm in so many Facebook groups now that it's really cool. I'm calling this Haul of the Week because I can, because I'm exercising my freedom of speech. This is interesting. Now, I guess you can do this. Let's see here. Let's zoom in here. This guy says, how do you ship and pay for fuel? Not sure about tires and wheel bearings, though. He has got a... That is a front-end loader bucket? How did he even get that in there? I can't even understand that. It is some crazy stuff. Last week's live interview was cool, too. Thank you. Man, my goal is to just knock it out of the park every week if possible. And in those minutes before the show, guy, I don't know what's going to happen. Never know. This is a kid's 3-car wedge. Where did he get that? That is crazy. I really like that a lot. That is really cool, man. This is what happens when you fall flat on your back walking down the ramps. I think every broker should see that, right? Only a driver runs the risk of that happening at work. Not the dealer, not the dispatcher, not the broker, the driver, right? We should be fighting for drivers all the time. And this, I wouldn't want to have to deal with that. You think ELD understands that one? Probably not. What do you put? Here's a good one. Here's a good question. Sean asks, does anyone have a good boilerplate terms and conditions for their EBOL, and he's looking for a copy of that. I might be able to dig one up, but if you've got one, please send it to me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I'll make sure that Sean gets it. I'd like to have one on hand anyways. It'd be great for the ecosystem. Really, that would be great, man. If someone can send a boilerplate, terms and conditions for your electronic bill of lading. Yeah, no, it was a Kaufman. I mean, how did he get that thing? That kid is styling. All right, hey, what's the best factoring company? Now, that seems like an oxymoron, right? I mean, factoring companies get a lot of flack. And I've personally talked to a factoring company once. It wasn't pleasant. But that can go for anything. I mean, there's got to be a good one. I could use a good recommendation. I would be happy to talk to a factoring company. So if you watch this video later, if you work at a factoring company, come on the show, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, and let's talk to the folks that could use a hand in getting paid faster. I'm going to get back in the transporting business out of Las Vegas. I need to find someone who can help point me in the right direction as far as to get a loan for equipment. There's another one. So if you provide loans, if you run across this video, and I say this too because now some people are running across my video and it's coming through search terms, Google, YouTube, whatnot, which is really cool. So if you can point drivers in the right direction to get loans for equipment, that could be useful. Part of the ecosystem. Anyone around the pilot in Dallas? I think I have an abandoned truck on my hands. This is from Friday, and we hear about stolen trucks. So if you come across what you think to be maybe a leftover stolen truck, I saw a car. This was crazy. I saw one the other day, and I saw one several years ago, like parked weird, like door slightly open. It's like, you know, like a jacked car that got left. So you see anything like that? Facebook groups are great places to notify people. Anyone needs any kind of welding or beam replacement? Let's see here. Let me move that over. Highly recommend Little Cottrell in Newark, New Jersey. They did an awesome job fixing up the trailer. Yeah, welding is definitely, you need a good welder. So here's a reference. Newark, New Jersey. And let me focus in on that. So if you watch this video later and you realize, oh man, I could use some good welding, go get a Philly cheesesteak, make a phone call, and get her done. All right, let's get off that. Okay, what else we got here? Oh yeah, this is crazy. Was there a fire at the Maryland Copart? Yeah, I didn't have time to like make a phone call and follow up. I know when I see that, I'm thinking, that looks like an insurance fire. But, you know, freedom of speech, man. I don't know, man. It's speculation. All right, what else we got? Ooh, car puller phone numbers. That was interesting. I don't know where I saw this. But I was impressed by the marketing. Like, this is like get it done marketing. You know, here's some phone numbers, got some duct tape, and just jam it against the wall. Let's see. Oh, JD. Yeah, I don't know what JD's up to. Got to check in with him. Well, he usually calls me, so we'll see if we hear from him. Hey, what's up, Fearless Motoring? Thanks for joining the show. Trucking with Selena is a very cool channel. Yeah, I know. It's cool. It's like a husband and wife team, and I think they said they haul for Swift. And I try to learn more about freight. I plan on wrapping freight into this show a little more over time. But, I mean, really, this is car hauling, you know. But, you know, it's all trucking to some degree. It's just that car haulers do it better. Yeah. Okay, so this is TP Transport. I wanted to mention this. This is like a public service announcement. If you're hauling for TP Transport out of Franklin Springs, flatbed or wedge only. And you got to have 150K in cargo. So I guess they've had some problems with, you know, Rocky Ridge and Franklin Springs does a lot of the lifting, and because it's awesome. And then you throw that on a 9 car and I guess you got a problem, scratches, damage. Anyways, that seems like a new company policy. I pulled that right off Central, so that's not me speaking for them. Now, this is interesting. Now, this is not specifically car hauling, but, you know, it's finally when there's nothing on the shelf, or maybe when you don't have the car you ordered, that you finally realize, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be so hard on the car haulers and the truckers and the drivers, right? So, anybody want to know why the shelves are empty? All right. Hey, here's a, this will be a good lead into the interview. You know, I rail on ELDs, and I'm definitely going to do it again this show. Let's see here. Can you see me? It doesn't matter. But you know why I rail on ELDs? There's a reason. So here's what sucks in car hauling today. All right, here's one man's journey. All right. So ELD, the clock is running. This is true. I wrote this. This really happened earlier today. All right. So clock is running, and when the truck moves, the starting gun has been fired. The race is on. But since the insurance auto auction closes at 4:30 p.m. yesterday, which we missed by 30 minutes, that was our first pickup location today. But guess what? When the driver gets to the insurance auto auction today, they say, oh, it's auction day, so you can't pick up your car right now. You have to wait till the forklift drivers are probably going to be available somewhere around lunchtime, which I think is insane that nationwide auctions are telling drivers, oh, you just have to wait 4 hours because we're having an auction. You have an auction every week. You haven't figured this out yet? So now the driver loses another 2+ hours waiting, ELD's running, and on top of already being stuck there last night. Thank you, insurance auto auction. You're not the only one, by the way. And now that the driver's behind the 8 ball, rushing to pick up in another city, plus deliver a truck at a dealership, the truck dealer closes at 6, so now we're waiting to hear back from the dealership to see if we can night drop, and if we can, then we got to arrange how we're going to get the COD, and then can the dealer leave the check somewhere for us. And even if that works out, the Audi dealership, different dealership, says the salesmen go home at 8 o'clock, and they can't leave the car out for us that we're supposed to pick up by the end of the day. Now, 8 o'clock, pretty normal. Also, that, you know, they want signatures more on pickup than on delivery. But this, Elena, is why I can't give you a schedule exactly of when we're picking up your car. And I tried to explain this to you, but you didn't want to listen, and I spent 20 minutes on the phone. 20 minutes I'm never going to get back. So between ELD, the IAA, the forklift drivers, and the dealerships, what are we supposed to do? And on top of that, I can't book good paying loads for our next leg of our trip because the mobile phone car dealer app promised the customer a pickup in the next 24 hours. And we won't even be empty before then. So why can't we fully schedule? Gee, I wonder. That's just one day, right? Hopefully, you guys know what I'm talking about, man. I mean, you do. You do. And so that's one of the things that I hope is that if you find this channel randomly, if you're a customer shipping a car and you find my channel, this is a window into what car haulers deal with. And it's not simple, it's not straightforward. It seems to run against the grain of everything else in our lives. We want something on Amazon, click, and it'll be here like in 18 hours. And FedEx and labels and fields and, I mean, but not car hauling. This is not a pizza. All right. Okay, having said that, I'm actually going to talk to a customer. Let's give a call to... This should be interesting. This is Rupesh, who, he actually is a customer, and he was having his car shipped. And I hope he answers.
Hey, hello?
Hey, Rupesh.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
That's about it, man. Just, in fact, just getting in my, delivered car and going on a quick ride.
Yeah? So you got a few minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So I got a few viewers right now. I would say like a small conference room. We're live, and So you shipped your, was it a Porsche 911?
Yeah, it was a 911.
And when did you get your car? Did you say you got it today?
I literally got it this morning. Yeah.
And how was that? What was that moment like when the car came to you? You bought it in Florida. You purchased it. The car's in Florida, and you're in California, right?
Yeah, this was actually it was surreal because it was like my first time ever doing something like this and buying anything out of state actually. So usually you're used to getting a car and driving it home, but the anticipation of waiting for it was that anticipation moment that was that made everything kind of surreal and better.
What's interesting, you know, it seems like you got it pretty fast, because weren't you lining up your broker last week?
Yeah, I was literally lining up my broker, and one of the things moving forward, because I was so antsy on getting it, I was trying to line one up that could at least have something on a truck on the way to get it delivered. So yeah, I mean, and this is kind of, as we talked before, this is kind of like my first foray into getting anything shipped, and so I learned really quickly that the best way to do it is figure out someone that's in that area that might have any transporters that they've worked with.
So do me a favor. One of the things that was interesting to me. So you had a little bit of trouble getting a broker at first. Is that right?
Yeah. In fact, it was kind of a little bit difficult lining someone up just because there's so many places. The big one that I used in the past, after just doing some research, was Ubid, and then
Ubid.
Ubid. Ubid's like the big one that I know just from like off the top of my head, and this was a couple months ago when I was trying to line something up for another car, but that didn't work out. So I remember from Ubid there was a handful of brokers that were contacting me, and I remember like the first one that literally like messaged me on the thing or whatnot was Montway.
Okay, so they were fast.
Yeah, they were really fast.
Wow,
and this
that's
was
cool.
my first time using Ubid actually. So I put the little not an ad, but I put like the shipping details up of where my where the car or whatever needs to get, where it needs to get shipped from, and like the dates, and I plugged all that information in, and then it started spitting me some brokers.
All right, and did you get a lot of brokers?
No, honestly, I only got like 3 or 4, and I guess it's like a bid system, or like, so it suggests a rate.
It suggested a rate?
Yeah, so it suggests a rate depending on like I think the zip code. And the rate that it suggested is it's usually for open transport.
Right.
And then I knew that I wanted to do enclosed, and I know just reading from the forums and doing some Googling, that enclosed is typically a little bit more. So based on that, I put some notes like, hey, wanted enclosed, and then I raised the price on that from the suggested, because it actually suggests like if you need it closed or something, add a couple $100 more.
Right. Okay. So you didn't call anybody. You fill out you did a Google search and you filled out a form online at like a landing page. Is that how that started?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What did you Google search? Do you remember?
Landing pages. Yeah, just kind of just
car shipping.
Car transport. Car shipping.
Car transport, car shipping, right?
Some stuff like just some stuff like that.
Okay.
And what I tried to do is I try to focus in on shippers from the area. So this car was shipped from Tallahassee. So ended up using a shipping company out of Miami.
Right. Okay. Now that was after. You don't have to say their name again, but you had it. You had a negative experience. Is that right?
Yeah. So the first time around, you know, I finally got this car, got the deal all said and done, and now it's time to ship it. So I'm, you know, researching places to get it shipped from. My biggest thing is I want to get it shipped as soon as possible. Right. Granted, I know that it's going to take a handful of days to get here. So, you know, I didn't realize, but, you know, basically shippers, I guess, you know, to get it shipped, there's brokers involved, and the brokers are the ones that line up the transporters. And this is all like lingo that I actually learned from watching some of your videos, Jay. So,
wow.
Even though at the time, like, I didn't know anything like this. So essentially I realized that I was dealing with brokers, and, you know, I knew that for me, I needed them to line up, you know, someone to get it shipped sooner than later. And so I remember from the first time I used Ubit a couple, like a month or two ago, to ship something that I thought I was gonna get shipped, but it never ended up working out. I called the company called Montway. I hope I can say that.
Yeah, sure. No, man, freedom of speech, dude. You're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. So I used Montway, and I figured, you know, hey, these are the first ones that reached out to me the first time. And so, hell, you know, like, if they were that quick on just, you know, texting or reaching out back to Ubit, maybe they'll have someone lined up or something. So I called them up. I used their 1-800 or call them up. I spoke with the guy. He seemed really friendly, and just, you know, all the questions that I had was, hey, you know, I want to ship this car. I want it to have it enclosed. You know, I want it sooner than later. You know, he's like, well, okay, you know, I have to get this information, process it, and then what we'll do is we'll try to line someone up, and then we'll reach out to you after we line someone up, you know, to get all to finalize everything. So what ended up happening was, while I reached out to Montway, I also, you know, had filled out like those forms as I mentioned before, to get this car shipped, and essentially what happened was one of the forms, or one of the people that I reached out to, had reached back to me earlier and confirmed that, hey, they had someone lined up and leaving on like the next day or the next day after or something like that, and, you know, it could be put on, and you know, it could be put to you in the next week. And then as soon as I did that, Montway had emailed me that said that there was a transporter that they lined up that was still like a week out. And then, so as soon as I find that out, I reached out to Montway, let them know that, hey, I won't need their services. And then they kind of ended up charging me initially $500. And then I talked to one of the managers, and eventually he lowered it to $200. I guess that's their cancellation.
Ooh, he lowered it.
Which I really didn't understand. So he lowered it to $200. He said that that's their standard cancellation fee.
Wow. And, you know, it's funny, when we talk about cancellation fees, hey, what's up, Serge? When we talk about cancellation fees, rarely can a car hauler get any kind of cancellation fee, and yet here you're being told that you've got to just cough up $200 for canceling what? The driver obviously wasn't already picking up the car, right?
No, in fact, the person, the person that they lined up supposedly was able to possibly pick it up in 5 days, 5 to 10 days. I mean, they usually give like a range.
Okay, so you're canceling. Now, how long had you had a deal before you were faced with said cancellation fee? Like a day? A few hours? Did I lose you? Okay, Oh, okay. So, hey, why don't you guys wave to me if you can still see me? Let's see here. Okay, I'm still live. All right, but I lost him. All right, let's do this. All right, I'm redialing him. Try and find the cheapest carrier. Okay, you guys stay right there. Stay right there. We've had a bit of a stream hiccup, but I think we're okay. I think we're still live. All right. We'll be all right. These things happen. See, that's what happens when you use your freedom of speech. I don't know if I think I lost him because it looks like my recorder went a little funky there. We'll get him back on the line.
You reached the hotel after I was line.
All right. Let's try this again. He probably still talking. Thinking I'm still there. Isn't this interesting? This is real life customer dealing with brokers trying to ship a car. We're in the middle of an actual, this just happened last week, and an actual customer, and maybe he'll try to call me back. It's too bad we lost him there for a second. It is BS. That's why we're talking.
The hotel after.
Okay, let's try this again. He's probably still talking. He doesn't even know that we're disconnected. But you know what's interesting is that the reason why I wanted him on the phone, and I hope we can continue, is that we know that this is
the hotel after.
Oh man, we know this is happening, right? And we know that. Listen, we're all pushing a certain. Oh, here we go. Hey. Oh. Hey, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Hey, Jay. Sorry, I think I hit a rough patch there.
Well, or it was me. I'm not sure. I had a.
I think it was me. I'm driving right now, and I'm heading.
No, it's not you. It's me. Nah, it's me. It's for sure. Okay, I'm just kidding. So, all right. So this is really. I mean, we're like, I feel like we're in the middle of a really fascinating radio novel. I mean, you're hit with a cancellation fee, which clearly it's days until the transporter's coming, so there's no real reason for this cancellation fee, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in a similar industry where I deal with cancellations. I'm in the hotel industry, so for us, oftentimes, for example, when someone books, that's pretty much they're committing to booking a room at a certain date for a certain price.
Right.
So I get all that, and usually a lot of times, in our business we have a cancellation policy. So as long as you give a certain amount of time, usually it's within a day or two of your reservation, that gives us the opportunity to sell that room again. And we're not charging you. We're not at a loss of money or anything like that. So with that same logic, I was thinking that I kind of felt like it's not like I committed to the shipper. I promised that hey, I'm going to have it shipped to this guy.
The ship, right?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So it was like one of those things where dude, you guys just reached out to me, and as soon as you did that, I contacted you guys to cancel, and in good faith, let you guys know, or let them know that I'm not going to be needing their services. Now, like I mentioned before, had I had the guy that was picking up the car, had he been there, and I reneged on it last minute,
right?
That charged me. I understand. I mean, for his time and services.
That's right.
Giving ample amount of time, I just thought that it was unfair, and yeah, I think it's kind of shady, especially big companies like that where they probably don't care about their customer service.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is that clearly we're all just trying to do good business, and when we find out that there's a party involved that has gone beyond just doing fair and good business, they've taken something into their own hands. They've taken something personal, which it's business. It shouldn't be personal, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and it's strange how that does seem to happen a lot, but I mean, what are you going to do? So did you ultimately get your money back? I mean, they already had your card numbers. What happened?
So yeah, they had my card number. The manager, you know, I told the manager everything that happened. I even, you know, literally sent him an email with the logs. You guys sent me an email of this, you know, this transport person that you guys had lined up for next week, and I called. I even emailed you guys right, you know, within the last, within 30 minutes of that email to let you guys know I won't be needing their services. So what he did was, and remember when he charged me, I think the exact amount once they lined, I guess the transporter up was $449.
Yeah.
That was unbeknownst to me. I mean, you know, it was not like I committed to a certain number, like a certain amount, like, or anything like that. They were still getting back to me with that. So, you know, the fact that they charged me, you know, whatever amount without my knowledge, I think is kind of fraudulent.
So, but I want you to say it again. So you said $449. What is that?
That was just, I don't know, just like some, I guess the initial fee that they had charged me as soon as they lined, I guess, the transporter up.
$449. Is that right?
Yeah.
$449 just to line the, I mean, I don't want to get this wrong, but yeah, you're still trying to figure out what $449 was, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Now, granted, I think that $449 was used towards, you know, the delivery cost. But that initial number, it was like some random arbitrary number that they just, you know, ended up billing me for.
It's awesome, man. I'm telling you,
yeah, and then I read all their details and all their stuff, and then it said that there is a cancellation fee of $200. And so what he did was he reduced it to, like, I guess their whatever standard cancellation fee. And now what I've done is I've contacted my credit card company.
Yes.
And now they're kind of battling out with them. And kind of the same thing with my credit card company. I kind of just let them know the paper trail that I had.
Well,
about, like, you know, as soon as they charged my car, I let them know that I won't need their services.
And, you know, that's another funny thing about business contracts is you can write anything into a business contract you want to, but it doesn't mean it's enforceable.
Right.
It's just, that's just how contract law works. But, all right, so you got through that, then you found a broker, you found a Florida broker because the car was in Florida, and he took care of you, right?
Yeah, they were really good to work with. You know, the broker was upfront, and the broker surprisingly was really transparent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he let me know of the transportation company that he was using, and even forwarded the person that was delivering the car directly to me. No questions asked. He was like, hey, you know, here's the information. And of course, you know, for me, I didn't want to be that person that's every hour on the hour checking with the driver to see where he's at. So I just kind of like called the driver, let him know, you know, what his timeline was, or, you know, like how he was anticipating, how many cars he was picking up, and any stops on the way. And so when he came by this morning, you know, I was already aware 48 hours from that point that, you know, he was going to be in my area and stopping and delivering the car from, you know, essentially from this window.
And so the broker that you went with would answer your calls, would take the time to tell you the answers, would put you in touch with the driver, didn't take the whole fee, but just told you what their fee would be, and the rest was paid COD to the driver. Is all that true?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then even the fee that they charged me was a really small, you know, like almost like a deposit fee, which I thought was really, you know, was really reasonable.
That's
it wasn't
awesome.
anything like the experience I dealt with, like I said, Monway, which, you know, they charged me an amount, and, you know, granted, if I had known that they were going to charge me a certain amount, then at least going into it, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then also, one thing that made this broker really good was before he committed to shipping my car and taking the payment source, he actually called the transporter to line up the dates and make sure everything was correct, and then called me back to finalize the deal to take the deposit or the initial payment, which I thought was,
that's cool.
Which I felt really comfortable, and I was like, this is a totally different experience than what I had.
That's awesome, man. And then, so the question, we got a couple questions coming in. How many miles was it? Personally, was it? I'm asking, was it the same transporter the whole way? And then, if you can give a ballpark, what you paid, if you're willing to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so it was, I think, a little over 2,500 miles.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So it was shipped from Florida to
like Northern California.
Northern California. And then, the questions like you were asking me about were things that I actually learned from watching some of your videos.
Wow.
In between me kind of getting all the stuff lined up. And so, yeah, those are questions that I even asked and made sure that that there wasn't going to be, switch ups or anything like that. And they were pretty upfront. They were like, no, it's going to be, 2 drivers. And there was actually 2 drivers. And that's why they made it literally from coast to coast within 2 days.
Wow.
3 days, I believe.
The driving team. Do you know what size car hauler it was? Was it a big one?
Yeah, it was a 7.
7 car?
It was a Metro enclosed car hauler that hauled about 7 cars.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, I also from your videos and our talk, I wanted to just be confident because there's a lot of like middlemen, it seems like, in this industry.
Yeah.
For me, I wanted to also make sure that obviously not the broker, but the transportation company had insurance, is bonded, and all that stuff. So I asked for that from the transportation company, and then when she forwarded all the information, I did a little bit of research and I found out from the VIN, exactly what enclosure that it was going to be coming in, and more information about the truck.
And it was an open carrier, and was there any problems with the car? No,
it was a closed carrier.
Enclosed carrier. Wow. Okay. So was it expensive, or I don't know. We're really curious what you spent, but again, you don't have to tell us.
Yeah. So it was pretty reasonable, actually. So when I was getting the way I was able to figure out on average what people were paying was from the forums.
Oh, good.
Of like, I paid about like $1,500. I paid about $2,000. So I knew the median price from just talking to people that it was anywhere from about $1,800 to about $2,200.
Cool.
Enclosed.
Okay.
Depending on the time of the year and all that stuff. So yeah. I paid a little bit, a little bit above $1,800, so around like $2,000.
So yeah, so you're still under $1 a mile enclosed. That's a good deal. Yeah, I mean, and the car's in great shape, right? Porsche 911.
Car was in great shape. The bill of lading was perfect. I was super happy to see it this morning, and the guys were super professional. They were on a timeline, so I gave them their money, and they were, next thing I know, they're gone.
Here's a question for you: was it a paper bill of lading or an electronic bill of lading?
It was a paper bill of lading.
Handwritten?
And to be honest with you, it wasn't really like filled out really in detail, but I did a quick once over.
Yeah. Cool.
Make sure everything was okay, and it yeah.
And what
so it was a paper bill of lading.
Did you meet the guy, or did he come to your house, or how was that?
So yeah, he came to my business. I told him to I tried to make it easy for him. I've dealt with shipments before. Letting him know that there's a couple spots where you can just park.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I met the guy. Introduced myself. I had contacted this guy a couple times. When he was getting here.
Cool. Cool. He gave you a status update. He called ahead before he delivered.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he gave me a real world estimate, like 3 days from the point I 3 or 4 days before I contacted him, like, on average, it'll probably be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Cool. Yeah, a window. That's right. Man, this sounds great. It's interesting. I mean, it's kind of got everything, and that's if you're a new shipping customer looking for car transport or car shipping, you're watching this video, you're wondering what you're getting into. I think you have heard probably kind of a typical story where you start off kind of with a rocky experience. You don't know what you're doing, and some people can take advantage of that, which happened here. But then once kind of, what was it that took you? How did you find a good broker? How did that happen?
Honestly, it was kind of a crapshoot because it's not like a lot of the. There was a handful of brokers that had reviews on like Yelp.
Okay.
Transport Reviews, I think, is a website.
Yeah.
But this broker, he didn't have too many reviews.
Okay.
But I just kind of had a feeling, and more importantly, just with the questions and the fact that he was up front and he was just, on top of it.
You had a feeling, exactly. It's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, that's something I talk about on this show too, is that everybody, wants to talk about how robots can do it and it's all buttons and fields, but we really want to deal with people, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, you build that trust when not only you get your questions answered, but, little things like before he even took my payment or committed himself, he called the transporter or, got back to me to see if, he can make that timeline or, give me a real world answer on something, not like Montway or the company I dealt with before, where it was like just impersonal. It was emails. When I first called and I talked to someone and they seemed, eager to take my business, but when it came down to like getting the details of when it was going to be delivered, all that stuff, it was very impersonal. It was just an email that I got and. The back and forth of it.
Yeah, and I understand. There's only so much time in the day. It's really helpful to do things by text and email. There are times for that. But I think in car hauling, because, you're moving your car, this is your pride and joy. For you, this car was like, you said it was your dream car, right?
Yeah, this is my dream car, and I've been looking for like a couple months, and had it been something else, I would have went to a local dealer or, got something nearby. But this is something that I researched, I waited for, I waited to get the right deal, I got the right spec.
Yeah.
It's like having something and then waiting for it and really trying to make sure that everything lines up. And before I even got here, I was worried. The whole shipping process, it's just because it's not something that the dealer's responsible for. It's something that it's up to you. You already paid for the car.
Well, yeah,
it's really worrisome.
Well, and so I think that's where I say I'm going to take the opposite side for a second. Say brokers serve a purpose in that their main job, as far as I see it, as from a dispatcher's point of view, a broker's main job is to educate the customer, make them feel like this is part of the process. It's long, and as a dispatcher, I tell customers, you know what? It seems like it's, there's a lot of questions, but when it's over, you can just forget about it, move on with your life, you'll have your car. But that's the broker's function, is to talk to you. So if you call your broker and they don't answer the phone, if that happens a couple times in a row, you start to feel like you got a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's also nice when you're dealing with one person, rather than a call center.
Right, like, yeah. Can I just talk to Roger? Oh, he's not here. You could talk to Josh. Man, I don't want to. Well, how about talk to Ryan? Here's Angela. It's like, no, man, I want to talk to the guy that I booked it with.
What happened to the person that I was talking to the first time that was really helpful? What the fuck,
Oh, no, they're fired, dude. That helpful guy, he's out of here, man. Oh, shoot, it's so funny. Well,
hey, Jay, I just wanted to, before I leave, I just wanted to let you know, man, thank you for the videos. One of the things that, like I said, it was a nail biter after getting the car to having it shipped, because you don't know what you're dealing with. It is kind of impersonal. You can't track things and stuff like that. But after watching some of your videos and you reached out to me, which was really helpful, and you just kind of helped put me at ease and kind of just seeing how all this process works in the background. I wish that there was a more transparent kind of system.
Yeah.
And a little bit more straightforward. But,
yeah. Well,
hey.
I'm trying to help when I can. I really appreciate the comments. In fact, that's how you sent me an email, and then I responded, and we started talking. And I love how we got to talk about this. And hopefully, I guarantee somebody watches this video and it helps them. So really, now you're part of helping other people. So that's great. I mean, thank you for coming on the show and doing that. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And let's definitely stay in touch. And
I agree.
Yeah, if you have any other questions or whatnot, I'm sure we'll be able to answer them. And whoever's listening to this now or later on from now and getting something shipped, it's really important that you ask the right questions and try to get a feel of the other person, see if they're able to make realistic expectations, and as long as they're upfront and honest and kind of letting you know like how things are realistically, I think it's okay to go for it.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's awesome. That's great advice. And yeah, we'll try and do a follow-up at some point. And do me a favor. If you know of somebody that needs to ship a car, or if there's anybody in the ecosystem you run across, news story, whatever, feel free to send me an email, reach out to me. I'm interested in the whole process. I mean, from car buying, car shipping, car dealing. I want to know it all now. And that's what I'm here to talk about.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. A lot of the car forums that I'm a big part of.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
There's always someone that's buying or selling something out of state, and there's always a need for someone like that.
Cool. Man.
So, yeah, and then a lot of there's a ton of car shows where I'm at.
Oh.
Like in Monterey, there's a concourse that happens every year where really, things need to get shipped from across. So
yeah.
Jay, I gotta run, but
cool.
glad we got able to touch base. And,
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible, man. This has been so great. So thank you for your time. I'm going to let you go, and have a great rest of your night.
You too, Jay.
All right, take care. All right, see ya. Dude, that is so awesome. So that's Rupesh in Northern California. And, we'll leave his identity at that, because in addition to freedom of speech, we believe in freedom of privacy. These are all rights that the United States affords us. And man, everything he said is real. What I try to do is keep our conversation to a minimum. I first talked to him last week. Actually, we only talked that once and briefly. And I said, man, save it for the show. It's great stuff. And yeah, I'm just really happy about that interview. That's amazing. So what I'm hoping to do, let's see, next week I'm hoping to have a broker on the show, actually, which, talk about walking into the lion's den. But actually, I think this guy will be great. And he sounds, actually, I picture him as being similar to the broker that Rupesh actually used. So I'm looking forward to that next week. And yeah, if you're a auto hauler, supplier, software, technology, broker, dealer, in any way connected to auto transport, car shipping, enclosed, open, I want to talk to you, and we'll do an interview. And I know that, I'm seeing some great comments coming in too. So let's go ahead and finish up. We still got a little bit of Facebook news, so we'll get back into that. Let's see here. Gonna minimize that. Freedom of speech. Man, he exercised his right to freedom of speech. Okay. Let's see here. We got accelerated services. Oh, here's some, these would be like the classified ads. I see all kinds of great stuff on Facebook, and this is a good one. Accelerated Services is looking for a driver for a new Western Star 80-foot day cab, as well as owner-operators to work out of Elwood, Illinois. You can contact Terry or Jerry at Accelerated Services. Now, this is from last week, so, you know, I don't know if they filled it, but I think that this is a good advertisement. And they move a lot of cars, so go for it. They're near Denver, but it doesn't sound like you have to be in the Denver area. They're probably looking for some locals around the U.S. maybe. Drivers wanted. We dispatch all 48 states plus Canada. Need training or retraining? We can help you. Just receive your CDL. Want to get into car hauling? We have a program for you. That's pretty cool. United Road San Antonio. Okay, this is a United Road ad. Okay, so there you go. Sounds like United Road. We handle all dispatching out of San Antonio's terminal. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Here's another one. Elite Auto Transport is looking for a driver to mainly run between Kansas City and Buffalo, New York. We offer competitive pay, health insurance, 401k, laid-back atmosphere. Call Brad. So there's the phone number. What do you know about the company Hogan? I don't. You need a good, honest car broker? Contact Big Duty. Get out of here, really? Big Duty, are you a broker? Dude, send me an email. Let's talk. Cool. Ferraris in Florida today for $700. That's daily shenanigans and enclosed. Yeah, that is low. Wow. 450 is too. 450 was like for the phone call. Anyways. Here's another one. Baltic Auto Haul is hiring reliable and experienced drivers. PM if interested. Company located in the Chicago suburbs. Drivers make 30%, which I think is pretty average. You hear 25%, 30, 35. I don't think they make much more than that. RV transport drivers needed. No waiting list. For the transport company. Oh, it's in transport out of Goshen, Indiana. So, if you like driving RVs, man, that's a good kind of golden age gig, right? Golden age gig. Nobody talks like that. Okay. Hey, guys, if anyone needs touch-up broker training done via phone, assistance in starting their trucking companies or brokerages, feel free to call. And that is, just says Erica Gratefuls. So, there's a phone number for you, if any of that interests you. Here's something from Crystal. Looking to bring on 24-foot to 40-foot hot shots or semis with our dispatch company. Over 30 dispatchers. When you get your personal dispatcher, you really get the whole crew. We work as a team. We're not a forced dispatch company. You will take this car. Forced dispatch. Sounds like a wrestling group. All right, if you're starting your company, need help insurance factoring, hey, we can help. Shoot, there you go. If you have any questions, contact. So there you go. There's some email addresses for you. The guy who shows the Mercedes all the time, right, on Instagram. Yes, I am. We don't play like your... Yes, I am. We don't play like your show. You don't play like my show. Okay. Who said I'm playing? Okay, this is cool. I talked to was it Preston? Preston. That's interesting. PJ? Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, Preston, PJ. Okay. Dispatch service. I talked to him. Really cool guy. This is in freight. Okay, this is not car hauling. But if you know somebody that could use a little bit of help in the freight world as far as getting loads. Oh, dang it. That turned off. It's starting to shut it down again. Man, we're hitting 9 o'clock. Oh, there's the flags. Cool. It's still America. Yeah, I recommend PJ is very cool. And I think that he'd probably be a great dispatcher. This is interesting. Auto fetchers. Let's see here. Is your time valuable? Would you like to make more money? Would you like to haul more cars? Would you like a dependable company to serve these needs? So we're a leading support company to the auto transport industry. All of our auto fetcher vans are equipped with a jump box, air compressor, fuel can, small tools to assist the vehicle from the secured lot to the transport lot. Sounds pretty cool, man. Cool logo, cool flyer, auto fetchers. Wrote an email to this dealer about their post for an SUV out of Copart. Okay, so he posted this SUV Copart from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Florida. He posted it for $450. So then they told him it should be $1,000 plus, and there were a couple screw yous. And then the guy said, you know, wow, thank you. I don't know how we've managed to stay in business for 25 years, moving 250 cars a month without your help. You are also laughably wrong. We move cars on a weekly basis out of Michigan, and actually our average is 400. And that reminds me, we just got 2 cargo vans and an Escape from the same location last week for $1,400. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've asked for money for a dealer, and they say, we move them all day. Okay, move them all day. All right. Well, so you move it all day. This is one of the ex-driver settlement. This is too long to go through. I don't understand it. I'm not one to complain, but Mannheim, Dallas has earned this rant. I'm parked in the transport lot earlier today asleep in my truck, and I wake up to this lovely sticker at the Mannheim, Dallas, because they're closing that part of the temp worker. They're closing that part of the lot for temp worker auto auction employee parking. My response, where do you want me to park? The lot is full. I get told to keep circling. Man, with ELD, dude, you got to stop. You got to pull over. Dude. Oh, man, I'm in violation. I didn't take my ELD break. See? But at least I'm super safe. With super Kool-Aid. Alright, what else we got? I only got a few minutes here. I gotta wrap this up. What do we got here? Oh, Robin, your first time in the show? Alright, well, welcome to the show. First time. JK? Alright. Alright, hey, that's cool. You know what? Please give this video a like if you're liking it. If you're hating it, give it a hate it. And if you're subscribed, click the notification bell, comment, share, all that stuff. I wish I could talk like an auctioneer. I always wish that. I just saw at least 7 state troopers parked along I-10 East from Houston towards Louisiana. All parked within 5 miles of each other. Have your paperwork ready. As we all know, they target hotshots. Good to know. Oh yeah, here we go. Hey Jay, I'm an owner-operator who's still very much a rookie in this. I got my MCDOT about 6 months ago. I've been at it about 5 months. Man, what can I say? This has been such a challenge for me. Like everyone else, I've been on Central Dispatch since day one. And these days, I'm still in there. I've done loads for most of the big brokers, Metro, United, RPM, but Ready won't accept me yet. But maybe I'm reaching out to you for advice and maybe potential direction. I'm just not making enough money. I've been able to just sustain the business and cover insurance, fuel, and truck payment. The Northeast kills us transporters with tolls and fuel costs, so I have yet to be able to turn any sort of profit whatsoever. My biggest issue is consistency. What would you suggest? Now, I didn't read this because I have the solution. I don't. I mean, it's hard. That's why I told the story earlier about, just in one day, just the coordination and logistics problems. Not to mention if a car cancels, or you just can't find cars that are paying any good. And I mean, you're busy, right? You're driving, you're trying to load, unload, deal with tires, get fuel, you got the ELD freaking out, and you got stopped by the DOT, and you're still trying to get good paying loads. That's why my recommendation is a dispatcher. And it's not like the end-all be-all, but you're overwhelmed. And here's what I'm speculating, is that the percentage that the dispatcher will take, that dispatcher should make up for that fee and help keep you regular. You know, the consistency, the just finding a route that works and staying loaded. You need somebody watching the boards. And I know Central Dispatch, $115 a month, that's a killer, man. And all of the other things that are costing, you know, I mean, you said it right there. There's nothing I can say that you didn't say. Insurance, fuel, and truck payment. So I know you need the consistency of a route. If you live 100% off the load boards, eventually it's going to kill you. You need a customer over time. You need to find a way to develop a customer. Maybe instead of hiring a dispatcher, maybe there's somebody in your family or somebody that you know that can help fill that gap. I mean, what do you guys say? What does the chat line say about what does he do, right? What would you do if you're a driver? A little late, but how's it going? Oh, the one and only. Welcome, man. From North Jersey to Northeast USA is a royal pain. From North Jersey to Northeast. Yeah, actually, that's why I know a lot of people, they stop at Newark, and it's just a U-turn. You know, get out of there. GWB. How big is the hauler? Thank you, Dave. I'm going to say he's a 3, 4, or 5. 5 tops. I mean, he says, I'm a rookie owner-operator. I'm going to guess it's a wedge, but I actually don't know. So let's keep talking about that. I'm going to keep going through news because I read it, but what do you do? What kind of advice can you give somebody who's struggling financially? Other than get out, you know? I mean, right? Sure, we all want to be Richard Branson. At least I do. Anyone ever breached a contract with United Road? Oh! Because I want to own planes and islands and... Anyone ever breached a contract with United Road? Wow. That's an amazing question. What kind of breach are we talking about? So, getting real tired. How big is the hauler? And am going to start doing local in northern New Jersey to North Dakota. Oh, wow. Man, you got to keep us updated to that. North Dakota? Well, you'd be the only one there. Man, I booked a guy to South Dakota once. And we did pretty well. And actually, he thought it was beautiful. But for his family, I don't think he could ever do that again. Which I know you have a family, Hotshot Dave, so something to think about. I think it's just the time and lining up the loads. So my policy is do not ask broker fee. Yeah, my policy. Yeah, you don't want to know. What's that like? That's like knowing, I don't know. What do you look like without makeup? Okay. Getting real tired of the BS loads on U-Ship. Have my MCDOT numbers, looking for more work. Willing to run wherever, just looking for some help. I mean, this is a common theme in auto transport. And by the way, I think my camera looks a little screwy there. Yeah, I had some camera trouble, so hopefully fix that too. This show's all over the place. I usually don't get wrapped up in this kind of stuff, nor do I ever post ridiculous rates. But I have to wonder if the guy that owns this car has any idea that his $1 million+ car is being shot for the same rate as a lawn tractor. Are these enclosed guys this hard up? All right, let's take a look at this. This sounds interesting. All right, so we got, can you guys read that? You got a John Deere tractor. All right, you've got a 2012 McLaren and a Dodge Ram van, and it's all around the same price. And the distance is similar too, so that is interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll take 2 John Deere tractors, and we'll put the McLaren in the back of one of them. Done deal. All right, here's an, oh, that's the actual, there we go, there's the listing. Okay. Now, if freedom of speech, okay. This company is 12 days late on a 10-day, keeps telling me it's in the mail. I'll be filing against their bond. Be careful. This is the 3rd company in a month. So we should be able to talk about it. I'm going to move on since I don't personally know. I just found it on Facebook. What do we got here? Low, oh, 19 cents a mile. What a beaut. Let's see here. Can you guys see this? There we go. Florida, North Carolina. Ooh-wee. Is that a real listing? Golly. One time I went to Connecticut and was so irritated and out of it from being up there. And oh, in Connecticut, parked right behind this other car haul and raised his blood pressure. That's crazy. You looked like you were going to kill me. Oh. Huh? You guys know each other? Oh, you guys know each other. Is there money flatbed to car hauling and flatbed to get out of places of hardships? Actually, that's one of the things I've heard about flatbeds is, and I liked, when I was booking for a flatbed for a while, I liked it because I could look for just the biggest, craziest stuff. I mean, there's a limit, but, you know, yeah, I mean, Ram, Cargo, Sprinter, high tops. Yeah, dude. Just, in fact, the flatbed, take the flatbed to Texas and load up, man. That's where all the big trucks are. It looked like I want to kill everyone. What? All right, let's move on. All right, we got, you do not. Today, it's nighttime, dude. Plus, that's another thing, and I tell people, man, you know, car haulers spend all day, it's cold out there, man. You imagine hauling today? I know you guys can. You're out there working in the cold, and then you're at a truck stop for the night. That's not easy, man. That's worth more than 50 cents a mile. Am I right? I know it's true. With all the other expenses plus that, I don't know. I can't tell what's wrong with this. Oh, is it the Montway? I think it is. Florida. Oh, yeah, I saw that one. Oh, speaking of. All right, check this out. See? This place is for everybody. Freedom of speech, man. This is Montway's load board, okay? Today's the first day I saw this thing. And I think it looks great. You know? Setting aside whatever I've heard or know or think or feel, I think this is a great looking load board. I'm not going to get into the rates. I haven't looked into them, although I could guess. But pretty good looking load board. So that is ship.cars, right? Ship.cars. Oh, here's a Run Buggy order available notification. So, you know, Run Buggy's out there working for you. Oh man, this is a terrible story. Tow truck driver shot and killed trying to repossess a car. Man, that's terrible. Golly. That story sucks. Thanks a lot, Jay. Well, there goes the buzz I was working on. Dealing with a crappy customer on delivery in Florida. His 1960 Corvette blew a brake line during transport. And he doesn't want to receive the vehicle until the mechanic inspects it so we can pay for it. Our company BOLs clearly state we're not responsible for this. He had my driver there since 8 o'clock last night. I told him every hour he has my driver sitting there, I'm going to charge him $100. Now he's threatening to call the police, report vehicle stolen because he doesn't like what we're doing to cover our situation, not unloading the vehicle and talking to the shop, have a mechanic look at it while it's on the dang trailer. The escalation of situations that's another thing. That's crazy. You think, right, you're delivering a car and suddenly you got a situation. Man, that is worth more than 50 cents a mile. Boy, howdy. This is cool. I'm guessing this guy parked first, this guy parked second, and then this guy will be getting in his car first. So, that's pretty cool. Facebook. Oh, yeah, there's carhauler.life. Hashtag carhauler.life. So, hey, man, it's a big community. Carhauler.life. All right, what else we got? Oh, this is a great headline. The FMCSA deputy says the ELD rollout is a success. Man, don't you love, like, what? Propaganda? Come on, propaganda's fun, isn't it? It's just fun. Oh, here's a, this is an actual, this is crazy. This is an actual, now this is a freight hauler, but here are his violations. Dang, this is real. Oh my God. And, oh, and then on top of this, I read that he didn't get fined. It was all warnings. Wow. Can you imagine taking all the time to put all that in? And maybe, I don't know, is that a quick process? How long would it take to create this document? Some rates are not bad. You apologize again. 40-foot flatbed, haul 2 cars. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, a car shouldn't be over 20 foot. I mean, you know, unless you got, if you got like two 3500s, you're going to have a lot of overhangs. So you're not going to do that. Do something, do like a ProMaster and then a good paying car. She looks like a man. Is that in New York? No, this is in Arkansas. Crittenden, Arkansas on I-40. Good old I-40. Need to get Trump to start tweeting about ELDs. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got to say. Yeah. In case you don't get the emails or anything, this is per OOIDA. Here we go. You can blow up the phone of this committee chairman, according to this email. Not me. I didn't say it. Here's his phone number. 202 is Washington, D.C. So give him a call, order some sushi, and tell him about your ELD. Order a pizza. Put it in the truck. You know, OOIDA, it fights for drivers. You know that. And, oh, here's something else that got reported. I had never heard of this. Hacking and fraud. Okay, 18 iPhone 8s purchased through my Verizon account in the past 3 days from a number attached to my ELD. How do you like that, man? ELD hackers? Oh, man. That's crazy. Oh, yes. By the way, I've been trying to get you guys a ELD recommendation for car haulers from an ELD expert, and this is what I got. All right, hi, Jay. For both, I told them that car haulers are price sensitive because too many expenses, and you don't really care if the thing, you just need it to work at its minimum baseline. Freight haulers, they, you know, they can afford more because the company's paying for it, but not owner-operators. Just give me something that works. So for both cheap and user-friendly, Keep Truckin' does pretty well. Their driver app gets very good reviews in the Apple and Android app stores for being easy to work with. The pricing is cheap at $20 a month. Some people, although fleets under 30, units have to pay for the whole year up front. That's interesting. Some people have gotten upset with them recently because they had so much demand and their units were back ordered, and then there was a difficulty with support. However, I think both those issues are improving since the December 18th frenzy has died down a bit. And Blue Ink Tech, now we were wondering, so the official word is Blue Ink Tech is good. Their BIT ELD isn't quite as slick as Keep Truckin', has fewer features, but they have very attractive pricing. They don't charge anything monthly, so you only pay a one-time cost of $295 for the hardware and nothing after that. That is pretty amazing. And I tell you what, I've seen so much Facebook advertising for BIT, Blue Ink Tech, man. I mean, you know, but I haven't got much feedback. Anybody out there using Blue Ink? What else do we have? I think I'm almost done here. Oh, let's see. Driver coercion. Yeah, that's a big topic. Because basically, you can't be forced to move. Because of the ELD, right? Then you're in violation. But drivers are running into this problem. So that is coercion. And there is, I guess there are laws in place against that. In fact, yeah, here, the FMCSA has also announced the driver coercion rule. And that was January 29th, 2016. Unrealistic delivery schedules, forcing a driver off the customer property, forcing a driver to take a load that he or she is not certified to haul. I mean, major penalties. So if you think you're a victim of driver coercion, check in with the OOIDA for sure. Let's see. This is about a news reporter in Chattanooga that expressed interest in covering some ELD news, which I went to the website on that, and that is, you can go to Nuga.com, and the reporter is, I believe, Chloe Morrison, if you can see that. So, you know, you want to talk about ELD, check in with Nuga.com, Chloe Morrison, in business. Oh, by the way, this is pretty cool. Doc 411. I had never heard of this app. Again, if you're in freight, you could use more information that you're not getting otherwise. And so this is an app specific to that need. There is the ship.cars login. Go there if you dare. What else we got here? I'm curious, pros and cons to a 3-car wedge versus a 40-foot flatbed. How interesting. I think that's my final slide, and we were just talking about something kind of like that. Again, I think a flatbed is a good way to go. If you can get a good deal on a solid flatbed in the early days, that's not a bad investment. And just, I wouldn't do like over the road on that. Maybe 500 to 1,000 miles. And because the further you go, the drop in cents per mile. So if you got a 2-car flatbed, you're looking to haul that heavy stuff. I mean, unless you can get something at $2 a mile, if you get something crazy, man, do it. Get that hauler of the week shot. You pick up a bus. I hate ELD, but it's good. Interesting, man. That's an interesting perspective. You know, I talk about ELD. I understand from a public's perspective of why, you know, an ELD makes sense. But the problem is the reality of the logistics is full of so many other problems that it's not fair. It's not fair to put that kind of leash on people, assuming that it'll just solve all the problems and you'll not run into a bunch of ridiculous situations that impede your ability to do business, which is why I recommend ELD Egg Timer by Auto Transport Intel. So it's $1 a year, and really you just put a couple minutes on it. It's not going to help you at the DOT. This is not FMCSA certified, and so if you end up in a situation, we give you a 1-year supply of Kool-Aid for an additional $100, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, this is it, man. This show is gone long. Again, I remind you, I'm exercising my freedom of speech. You are also. You are here with me. We're not going to do anything unforward or unfair, but we are citizens. We have rights, and don't tread on me, right? Don't tread on me. There's a reason this flag was created. It was created to express to the powers that be or that were that I'm not taking it anymore, and I don't need to, because I have a fundamental right to the pursuit of my own happiness, excluding from the bounds of your rights. May the two rights not cross each other. Can't we all just get along? I'm pretty sure it's a big enough world for all of us to coexist. We're just trying to make it through each day, make a living, and then maybe party on the island just a few days a year, just like every good cubicle worker out there. So, what's next week's guns? I think this show will blow up. I think this show will blow I think this show will blow up. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Hashtag, I think this show will blow up. Well, that's the hope. That's the goal. And there's so much to talk about. And if I can keep helping out residents and car haulers, get some brokers in here, maybe some dealers. We've already talked to other types of companies. There's so many more types of companies to talk to. It's a gigantic ecosystem, and I don't think the robots are taking over tomorrow. So I think we're going to be here a while, and I think there's a lot of good information to spread. So I am going to fire up the car hauler, and I'm going to get out of here. And I'll be back next week at 8 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget to like, share, comment, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, and Philip Belton, choose a different route. Man, welcome to the show. I don't know if you've been in the show before, but dude, tell your friends, spread the word. I try and hit some of the other live shows when I see them come on. Try to get a shout out, and I will respond to your comments. You can send me an email. I'm autotransportintel@gmail.com. And all right, here we go, man. You guys have a good one. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week.